I wish to go for, there is one option that is known as whiteboarding. Thanks and welcome to the class of Master of Business Administration, Communication for Business and Management. We are going to talk on common forms of oral and written communication in the business world. While talking of it, I would be dealing with certain key highlights and key points that is really very significant for making an oral presentation. And at the outset, let me tell you, I'll be talking about preparations of oral presentations, first step. And the second step, we will be talking about strategic part of presentation. The title itself suggests oral presentation and its strategies. Strategy itself is a military term. It's a wartime word. So why it is used here in oral presentation? Primarily, I would like to focus on stage phobia and challenges of public speaking. When you go for facing the challenges of public speaking, it becomes a bit difficult that how to manage the situation. In certain cases, the stage fear is more than the fear of the death. And so we need, even the mature and seasoned speakers need to practice and plan their public speaking. And particularly in the business scenario, a failure of a oral presentation may cost a very high price. That high cost, high pricing situation, none of the business person would love to face. Because you may lose some business contract, you may lose some business offers, and the reason may be nothing but your presentation. For that purpose, I would love to make a quote over here. Good preparation is the most important factor for a success. And good preparation is equally most important factor for successful presentation. Good preparation. So how to prepare? Let us start in 6 steps. What is the first step for making successful presentation? So first step involves check the time. How much time you are provided with. And based on that timing, you start your presentation. You may be given 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour, 1.5 hour, 2 hour, or in certain cases 3 hours for making your presentation. According to that timeline, you start your preparation. After checking the time limits, that how much time is permitted to you, you should go for the guidelines. Confirm the guidelines, if any, provided to you by the organizers for your oral presentation. And then after checking the time and confirming the guidelines, I would also love to suggest you that you should be ready with your own accessories. For example, lecture cards, then projector, slides, check the power backup, get your laptop, palm top or tablet, phablet, whatsoever you are using, ready and fully charged. Then, because it's your responsibility to convey the message, at the same time you are also advised to prepare handouts. Those handouts will be great to support you. So the first step is check the time, first point of the first step. Second, confirm guidelines. Third one, purpose of the talk. What are the objectives of the talk? It should be clearly articulated at the outset of your talk. To inform, to entertain, or to persuade, etc. Persuade an audience. Then there comes the audience analysis. When you talk of audience analysis, you need to realize and imagine, speculate that who are the people to whom you are going to deliver your oral presentation. After realizing that, you need to modify, restructure your talk accordingly. For example, your audience may be fully technical, they may be semi-technical, they may be non-technical, they may be professionals, they may be non-professionals, they may be general audience. Based on that, you need to prepare yourself. Later on, you need to articulate the topic at the beginning. Like here, the topic of the talk is oral presentation and its strategies. So these are the certain points you need to prepare at the beginning. What are the points? Any one of you can repeat it by unmuting yourself. Any one of you unmute and tell what are the points one should take care of as the first step of oral presentation. If you want
Checking the
to,
time.
good.
Second point is confirming the guidelines.
Good.
Third is purpose of talk
Yes.
and audience analysis and articulating the topic.
Very good. You have this is all involves your first step. All these points you must be preparing for as the first step of your good preparation. What is the second step? So the second step is write your talk. Second step becomes write your talk. In certain critical cases, suppose that power failure is there and you are not able to prepare PowerPoint slides, or your slide is you are not able to run the slides. So what will you do? You should make notes. There are two terms, make note and take note. Take notes means you should write. Make notes, making notes beforehand for using it in oral presentation. So make notes, think what you must tell. What is the most significant part that you must not ignore? After making notes, you need to structure the talk. How to structure your oral presentation? So far as the structuring of the talk is concerned, so in second step, make note and structuring the talk. First, making notes and structuring. What should be articulated first? What should be said first? Then you will structure your talk like an essay. For example, introduction, middle, conclusion, and recapitulation. So there should be proper introduction of your talk. There should be proper structuring. As when we talk about introduction, how to start your talk. What should be the must be constituted as the constituent part of introduction at the beginning. And in introduction itself, somewhere you should announce the purpose of the talk. When we move to the middle, means main body of the talk of the oral presentation, one must focus on the most important points first. That will be helpful for you all. And then step by step, the discussion should be built on and ultimately leading to the conclusion. And then highlighting the significant parts again that will constitute the recapitulation. So second point, what are main headings? Somebody should unmute and tell. Second step is writing your talk. Yes. Please let me know. Anukriti is there. Anukriti, can you unmute and tell what are the second steps? What are the points that will constitute the second step of good preparation of oral presentation? Anukriti is not able to answer. Akriti, Ashwini Kumar, Shobit, anyone?
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, so in second point you told making notes and structuring the talk.
Yes. And how will you structure?
Into introduction, middle part, conclusion, and recapitulation.
Yes, introduction, middle means body, main body. Okay, and conclusion and then recapitulation.
Yes.
Moving to the third step. So second step is writing your talk. Third step is producing notes. You write your talk for yourself. But how will you be producing notes? First point, make notes in English on cards. Have you ever delivered your talk by preparing cards? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What type of cards you are supposed to prepare?
Sir, last year when I was appear in IELTS exam, so in a speaking section they already give me one topic and they provide me some card. So I prepare all those topic within a minute, and after that I deliver that particular information, and we started to discuss about that topic.
Very good. So here I would like to show you what are lecture cards. Uh, are you able to see some small slip sort of thing?
No, sir.
Is it visible to you now little bit?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
These are cards, small cards. They are little bit thicker than the normal paper. You may use as and when the situation arises. I show you blank card. Then I'll be showing you certain used cards. For example, you might be able to see some cards that is having something written on them. You can use them for both the sides. Normally, nowadays people are using less, but earlier it was very high in demand. Traditional professors still use certain cards. Such cards help you to recall that whether any significant point you have missed in your oral talk. So you will, these cards will remind you those points.
क्या कहते हैं
Hello, Pratiksha Misra. What are you doing? Later on, such cards will help you. Like, here is a card that I really used in certain lectures. Cornerstone developing soft skills. Soft skills for professional development. This is also a part of your syllabus. Somewhere you need to use it. So you will find that certain contents are scribbled over there, written over there. So producing notes, make notes in English on cards, open with an introduction and overview. How to start a lecture? to catch to the audience attention. You can catch the audience attention by telling a story, by cracking a joke, by sharing surprising fact. Sometimes, or you can say most of the times, opening your talk with certain surprising facts drags the attention of the audience immediately. Like today's, all the news channels are opening the surprising facts that Aparna Yadav joined BJP. Isn't it? Her joining the party is a very simple. Many people join a political party. But what is surprising in it? Can anybody tell? Normally thousands and lakhs of people. Today it is said that BJP is having the largest enrolled member all across the globe. But why it is so significant that a particular person is joining that party becomes the news of the national media? One second. Yes, let me know why it became national news. Anyone would love to answer, or should I move to the next topic?
Sir, because she's a family member of Mulayam Singh Yadav.
Yeah, she is family member of the leader of, you can say, opposition, leader of the opposition, and she is belonging to that family. So that way, it's a common fact to join a party by a person, but it's a surprise note for media in terms of TRP and other things. So audience attention you can drag by telling a story, by cracking a joke, by opening a surprising fact. Then how you are supposed to close with your oral presentation? How to close your oral presentation? Close with a summary, an invitation to a question. Invite questions respectfully from the audience so that you may avail some opportunity if some of the audience have not been able to, they have not been able to understand certain portion of your oral presentation, you may supply clarifications to them. So inviting question, summary question, and then recapitulation and offering clarity, and then reconcluding. So what are the key points of producing notes? This third step. Anyone should unmute
Sir,
and tell.
taking notes in English on cards,
Good.
and then open method introduction and overview.
How to get audience attention then? So how will you get the audience attention? By story, by joke, by surprising fact. Then how will you close your speech?
With a questionnaire session so that everyone is clarified.
With a summary, inviting questions. Good. With a inviting question answer round session and summary. Then step 4. Coming to the step 4. Preparing visual aids. Preparing visual aids. What are the visuals you can provide? You may prepare PowerPoint presentation. You may use overhead projectors, OHPs. You may use diagram. If you are making diagram, it should be large and clear to the audience. Now there is one thing that is, you know, that is suggested by a book to avoid, but I don't agree personally with that. What is that? Avoid writing drawing things on whiteboard during a talk. Avoid writing, drawing, making notes on board, whiteboarding you can say. But I personally don't agree. Because writing on board is an art. And those who has done amongst you B.Ed, Bachelor of Education, they will let you know in a better way that how to write on board effectively. So this is suggested by bookish language that avoid writing or drawing things on whiteboard during your talk. But I must suggest that if you are giving your professional presentation, you may use board for professional purpose. So can you tell me, preparing visual aids, what are the visual aids you will be preparing? This is the, what are the things important for fourth step? Please let me know.
So making PowerPoint presentation using of overhead projectors and diagrams.
Okay. And bookish language suggests that you will not use whiteboard, but what is your teacher suggesting? That in professional and business presentation, you are advised to use boards. Because writing on board is an art. Then there is practicing your talk. Next step, fifth step is practicing your talk. Practice your talk alone several times. Practice with your friends. Practice with equipments. Use dictionary to check pronunciation, vocab and grammar. Practicing your talk. What are the things you will be taking as your fifth step? Please let me know.
So practicing with friends, practicing with equipments, use of dictionary for vocab and grammar.
Okay, good one. Then the last and sixth step is preparing for questions. In the fifth step, I would like to add there that you can practice your talk with your friends and say them that please ask certain questions. And that question answer practice matters a lot. This may help you sometime in during interview presentation nowadays that is being practiced all over the world for getting a job, and you can get a very, very good job. It may help you practicing questions for interview, for oral presentation. It will add you to your another feather in your cap that may help you to capitalize during presentation. You can practice alone. Mirror practice is there. Some very ancient set, trusted formula is making mirror practice. Practicing with your friends. Practice with the whole equipments in the inside the room, and then by using projector, etc. Testing it. Clear? And then using dictionary to check pronunciation, vocab, etc. The last and sixth step is preparing for questions. How will you prepare for questions? So practice some of the questions your audience may ask you. And that practice may help you to guess certain questions that you have not prepared, not you have thought earlier, but in practice session you prepared for it, and that will help you. Practice makes a man perfect. So that practice will enable you to excel in the area of presentation. Then practice your question answers, and then later it will come. From where I am teaching you? I am teaching you from Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary 7th edition. Then there comes the strategy. This much was the part of preparing, good preparation. But now let us enter into the strategy. You have prepared your talk, you have prepared in 6 steps, you have done all the homework, now you have practiced. Now what strategy you will opt during presentation? So here are certain steps. First is strategy, second is structure, third is support, and fourth is delivering speech. Let us talk about strategy. First thing, decide the general as well as specific purpose of your talk. Second part of your strategy will be, for you need to realize that what are the general objective, what are the general and specific purposes, why you are going to talk and deliver that talk. Second, decide possible results expected from the audience. So second step of the strategy will be decide possible results, what results you are expecting from your audience, what kind of feedback you wish as the whole feedback of the whole exercise. As I said in earlier discussion that generating feedback is the breakfast of the champions. Third part of the strategy will be knowing and analyzing your audience. And finally, time, location, and manner. So strategic part, anyone would like to highlight the points?
So deciding general and specific purpose of talk, deciding possible result, expectation from audience like feedback from the audience, knowing and analyzing your audience, and time, location, and manner.
So three things. Fourth part was of the strategy was time, location, and manner that you also focus during preparation. Then later comes the structure. So structure I already said, introduction, attention gaining statement. How will you gain attention? By cracking a joke, by telling a story, by uh, sharing some surprise information, etc. So attention gaining statement. What will be your attention gaining statement? Because for drawing the attention of the audience is really very, very significant thing. Then the main theme and body leading to the well targeted conclusion. Review your talk and then finally provide an overview during presentation and closing statement. Because well began is half done and ant bhala to sab bhala, give a finishing touch. Giving, offering finishing touch. These are the things of structural part. So you please point out what are the structural part you will be taking care of. Anyone should repeat. We are towards the conclusion of the lecture, so quick response is required.
The introduction having attention gaining statement, then main theme and body leading to well targeted conclusion, reviewing your talk and giving a finishing touch.
Good. Then after structure, as I said, there was the support. What support you are required? Whiteboard, handouts, flip charts, OHPs, LCDs, video films or small video clips, video footage. So what are the things required for support? Somebody should repeat. आपको मार्कर चाहिए, व्हाइट बोर्ड चाहिए, ऑडियंस को सप्लाई करने के लिए हैंडआउट चाहिए, अगर टेक्निकल ऑडियंस है तो उनको नैरेटिवाइज करने के लिए, कॉम्प्लेक्स चीजों को सिंप्लीफाई करने के लिए यू नीड अ चार्ट, देन ओवरहेड प्रोजेक्टर, एलसीडी, वीडियो फिल्म्स, स्मॉल क्लिप्स and any graph chart etc that you wish to share with them. So can anyone would love to summarize the support required? Strategy, structure, support and delivering speech. So we are on the point of support. Let me know. Anyone, please. What are the supporting things required over there?
So whiteboard and marker, handout for technical audience, flowcharts, overhead projectors, screens, video clips, footages or films.
That you wish to use during your oral presentation. Then delivering speech, finally. You need to use visuals, verbal and vocal. I shared with you a few days back PowerPoint presentation, and in that PowerPoint presentation you might have seen certain visuals. Visual and verbal preparation. What are the things you want to make them visualize, to showcase them? Then verbal and vocal things. Vocalization practice. You need to practice on pitch variation, your tone variation. Then you need to prepare for question answer session. Our lecture finishes over here. At this point, feel free to ask if you have any question, any doubt. Today we have discussed and completed oral presentation and its strategies. Please feel free to ask in the topic that we have discussed today. आप पूछ सकते हैं. Any question, any query? Please let me know. कुछ पूछना है बेटा आप लोगों को?
Sir, during the second steps of oral presentation, you told like to make notes and take notes, right? And during the
Yes,
fourth step, you told not to write anything on the whiteboard. So,
yes,
uh,
very good.
as we discuss about the white to take notes. So, in that case, if we are halting the presentation in between to take notes, so is it considered a good practice?
Let me tell you that I have delivered the presentation strategy in two parts exactly. First part was good preparation. And for preparation, I have suggested you 6 steps. Preparation means practice. Clear? And all those 6 steps. First step, second step, like writing your talk, third, producing your notes, and preparing visual aids, practicing talk, preparing question. All these things are the preliminary, yani pre-speech, pre-presentation sessions. Got it? ये सारा कुछ क्या है? प्री प्रेजेंटेशन सेशन है. तो उसमें क्या है? मेक नोट मीन्स लेक्चर आपका परसों है, आज आप नोट्स बना रहे. योर लेक्चर इज scheduled 3 days 4 days later, but you are making the note. अभी समझ में आया बेटा? मेक नोट्स.
Yes.
देन कमिंग टू दी व्हाइट बोर्ड, ये आपको सजेस्ट किया गया प्रैक्टिसिंग टॉक में कि जब आप if you want to deliver your presentation, so should you use whiteboard or not? Clear? So the bookish language said that during presentation you should not use whiteboard or marker, or board writing should be avoided. इसके पीछे एक बड़ा रीजन है जो बुक राइटर ने लिखा है. नॉर्मली व्हेन वी स्टार्ट राइटिंग ऑन द बोर्ड, तो वो हम क्या करते हैं कि हमारा पीठ ऑडियंस की तरफ हो जाता है. दैट्स अ क्राइम इन अ सेंस कि हम ऑडियंस की तरफ पीठ करके स्पीच नहीं दे सकते, प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं दे सकते, बिकॉज बैक टू बैक कम्युनिकेशन विल नॉट वर्क. या ऑडियंस की तरफ पीठ करके स्पीच काम नहीं करेगा. So that is what might be the reason the book writer suggested that one should avoid board writing. But when you look at and practice at board writing as an art, so there is a training that you should write on the board in such a way that half of the face should be towards the board and half of the face should be towards the audience. आधा चेहरा आपके बोर्ड की तरफ होगा, आधा ऑडियंस को फेस करता होगा. Clear? And that half face and that frequent movement of the body and adjusting your body according to the space available, you will be able to you maintain the balance. So this is the first answer. ये प्रिपरेशन पार्ट है आपका, कैसे प्रिपेयर करेंगे. बोर्ड राइटिंग भी अगर आप प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो. अच्छा बेटा, फोर्थ पॉइंट में मैंने क्या बोल दिया? अभी आपका डाउट क्लियर हुआ? इसमें हमें लग रहा है पूरा क्वेश्चन का कुछ पार्ट रह गया.
Sir, I was asking about the take note part. Like you discussed during the
Take
second
note
step.
is for taking note is for the audience, not for the speaker.
Oh,
Like
okay.
जब आप लेक्चर अटेंड कर रहे हो, अभी आप जो है क्या कर रहे हो? You are taking notes. I'm delivering the lecture. If you are writing the points for you, you are taking the notes. But
Okay.
the time when I was, you know, preparing for the lecture, so I was making notes. Got it?
Yes, sir.
हमने जब आपको दिखाया, हम जब लेक्चर को तैयार किए तो हमने क्या किया, मेकिंग नोट्स किया. एंड व्हेन यू आर नोटिंग डाउन द की पॉइंट्स, की हाइलाइट्स, ये मैंने मेक नोट्स किया. लेकिन जो आपने अब आप लिख रहे हैं, आप जो है क्या कर रहे हैं, टेकिंग द नोट्स, टेकिंग फ्रॉम द स्पीच ऑफ समबडी. Now got the difference between making notes and taking notes. Taking notes
Yes,
is
sir.
for the audience, they will take notes. You are making notes for your preparation. Now anything? Any more query, please? So should we call it a day by concluding the lecture?
Yes, sir.
Yes, now a recapitulation part of this lecture. Today we discussed about oral presentation and its strategies, and we talked about good presentation preparation and presentation strategy. In preparation, we talked about 6 stages, 6 steps. First steps dealt with checking time, confirming guidelines, purpose of the talk, audience analysis. Second step, writing your talk, make notes, handouts, and etc. Then of the points that one must tell. Then after the second step was entitled as writing your talk. Third step was entitled as producing notes, making notes on card, preparation of cards that we have discussed, how to prepare cards for particular topic, for giving presentation on a particular topic. We have some discussion of the certain sample cards. Then we talk of open with an intro overview, get audience attention by a story, joke, or surprise beginning of a particular fact. Then preparing visual ads for PPTs, chart, graphs, etc. Then we found a point that it was suggested by certain book that we should avoid, a good orator should avoid writing on the board, whiteboarding. But personally, I suggested that whiteboarding is an art and one must be focusing on that. Then practicing your talk, how one should practice you should practice your speech with your friends. You can go for mirror practice, you can practice alone, you can practice in a group. Then preparation for question answer, using of dictionary for making your talk correct, like whether vocab is okay, pronunciation is okay, and grammar. That is very very important part for correcting, for going for exact pronunciation, vocab, and grammar, using dictionaries for that. Then moving for preparing for questions. Then I discussed, this was the first part up to these 6 points. First part was the part of good preparation. Later on, we talked about presentation strategies. We discuss it in 5 steps, that is strategy, structure, support, 4 stages, and delivering speech. While talking about strategy, we talked about deciding the general as well as the specific purpose. We also talked about decide possible results that you are expecting from your audience. As the third part of the strategy, knowing your and analyzing your audience. And as the fourth part of that strategy, a time, location, and manner you are going to deliver your speech. Then we come to the strategic part. We come to the structure, that a talk should be structured as introduction, main body, and conclusion, and that should be closed with question answer, inviting question, and recapitulation. Then we come up to the support. What are the support required? Maybe whiteboard handout, OHPs, PPTs, LCDs, video films, short clips, etc. Then we come to the speech. During your speech, you can use visual, verbal, vocal things. You can work on visuals You can work on verbal pitch variations, high pitch, low pitch, kinetic tone. Then, then you can also practice that vocal parts, vocalization, verbal parts, visuals, and you can also share the be ready for the question answer sessions. So this is how one should prepare, and that's the end of the talk. I think uh, you don't have any question, any doubt, and this is the time to stop the lecture. Should I stop it? Stop किया जाए बेटा?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Our next lecture
Yes,
is
sir.
about to start.